So today we are here at day one of DroneX. Very kindly, the organisers here, Adnan and Chloe, thank you very much. Big shout out to them for providing us with our own booth this year. It's a bit posh, isn't it?
It's just a little bit posh. It's very nice.
Indeed. Now, you know myself, my name's Sean. This is Tony, who's actually one of our viewers, who has become one of our co-hosts as well, and who also enjoys a little bit of commercial flying with his A2CFC you've got.
Yeah. And my new Mini 3.
Yeah. I was going to say the Mini 3 is the one that's doing a lot for you. Obviously here at this show, this is a trade show, so we're looking at some of the more things which are the types of aircraft which are going to be flying beyond visual line of sight. There's a lot of urban air mobility here, etc. as well, which we'll be bringing you updates on all of that over the next couple of days. And we hope to bring you some very interesting talks as well. I'm looking forward to the keynote speech from Nats, where they're going to talk about the future of beyond visual line of sight in the UK and the roadmap to it.
That should be really interesting.
It should be, shouldn't it? Because we hear a lot about beyond visual line of sight, don't we? But we don't hear a lot about how it's going to happen and who's going to get to do it.
Who's going to get to do it, yeah.
We'll also be watching Mark Worry, who, of course, is the UK RPAS lead at the CAA. So hopefully we'll hear a bit more about the direction that team and the RPAS side of things is going to take in the CAA. It feels like we just got everything settled down, didn't it? And now the drone rules are starting to change again.
It didn't settle down for very long.
So it doesn't mean I'm going to have to redo all my videos one day, of course, which I don't mind doing, but it'd be nice to just put them up and leave them there for a while. But hopefully we're only going to start seeing tweaks and that type of thing rather than it being a full-blown change again, which I think is what's needed. But again, I think if you look at the EASA EU rules that we have at the moment and really look at the UK use for them, then actually I think a few tweaks could be good, couldn't they, really?
Yeah, because it'd be more beneficiary for most of us. It's like, I know a lot of people on A2CFC, but there's still a lot of people thinking, no, I'm not doing that.
No, exactly.
Yeah.
Yes. And I think for the next recording, we have ordered Tony a booster seat so that he can actually sit at the same height as me. But I'm just a very big-bodied guy. Yeah, no, indeed. I'm just this big, actually. Tony's not that small. Keep with us and enjoy what's coming up now, which will be a bit of a montage of some of the interesting projects that we found around the show today. And also, you'll be hearing later from me and Tony as far as our thoughts on some of the speeches.
For joining me today. Do you want to talk a bit about your company and what are you doing here?
Yeah, we're the Swedish drone company. As simple as that, actually. We develop and make our own product in Sweden, assembled by our own engineers. We don't lay out any part of the manufacturing process to another party. Right now, we're making a lot of prototype for government and companies all over the world.
Fantastic.
We are trying now to make a new prototype of this smaller drone that you see over here.
Yep.
This is actually a model that we made for government agencies in Sweden. So we made this for them.
And what will that do? What's the specialism with it? What's it there?
It's actually noise level. It's quieter, it's faster, it's smaller. They need a small lightweight sensor to get to places fast and quietly. So that's what it's made to do. We're going to make it even smaller, faster, nimbler version of this. That's going to be a backpack version for hopefully next year. It's really on the drawing table right now. Right now our focus is on the XLT. This is our workhorse. It's been in production for a couple of years and it's really sturdy, quality built, and can handle more or less anything that you can throw at it.
Excellent. And so what does that do for them? What is it out there? Is it surveillance or is it payload?
Depends on the customer, what they need.
Okay.
What we try to do is we try to find a balance between payload and flight time.
Yes.
And it's a hard level to go and find a specific level that everybody will be happy with.
Yeah.
So we looked at drone level sensors and which are the heaviest and that are applicable for a drone of this size. And we found that there's almost no sensors over 5 kilograms. So we made sure that this one will have a 25-minute flight time with a 5-kilogram payload. Obviously, you can increase the time with lightening the payload, and you can decrease the time by heavier the payload.
Of course, yeah.
But this also means we have adapted engines for being able to carry a 5-kilogram of payload without getting a lot of strain. So we had customers having this out in harsh environments over the seas, for 2 years without servicing. Not to recommend, by the way.
No.
But it worked.
Excellent.
We build all the parts ourselves. We can connect everything. We make sure everything is working perfectly. So it's not an issue with electromagnetic from a wire somewhere.
Yeah.
There's no camera interference. The gimbal is not electromagnetically leaking anywhere. The propellers are the exact right length. It's a lot of small components. It's taken over 2 years to develop this specific drone. It's been on the market for a few years, but it's still a heavy product, so to speak. We also delivered this with a tether version.
Okay.
So it's basically 24/7 flight time.
Excellent.
So we had a lot of customers here actually during the event that's been really interested in this with the tether solution.
And what sort of clientele does that attract then? With the tether?
Well, depends always on what the customer wants for specification. I would say what we would recommend for a perfect solution for this is a regular dual sensor with an optical thermal sensor on it. And our more sophisticated tether system will be, say, around 100 for a complete system for a customer.
Okay.
And this is actually been quite interesting for a lot of customers that hasn't realized that this can be available yet.
Yes.
Because when we tether it, it also works as an antenna. You can use this as a ground station for a festival.
Yeah.
You can provide everybody with free Wi-Fi from a drone.
Wow.
And you can have 4G, 5G from the drone. You have an unhackable device because there's no signal. Everything goes to the tether. And you can fly it 24/7. We're trying to help governments and agencies to identify what they need.
Yes.
Like this is a pretty standard product. You've seen drones like this before.
Yeah.
That's not the problem. The problem is that the people that want to buy them don't really know exactly how to use them.
Yes.
So everybody can fly a drone. Everybody can learn how and where and when to fly it. But the application they're going to use it for depicts how we're going to develop it. So that's why we offer customization projects. We help the customer build the drone to their spec.
Yeah.
That's why we made that one, for example.
We are running basically an aerospace company, and our main products are logistics drones. And this one is a long-range, heavy payload logistics drone. It can go up to 100 kilometers, carrying 10 kilograms of payload.
Okay.
And this one particularly has a very specialized payload bay, which can carry cargoes such as blood, plasma, vaccines, immunoglobulins in a vast range of temperatures. Because we're targeting markets such as India and Africa. Yes, and that's where we're at. We also have a short-range logistics drone, which can carry up to 6 kilograms of payload and go up to about 35 kilometers in range.
Fantastic. And so is it out and about in the world at the moment? Is it being used?
Yeah, one of them we're actually doing our technology demonstration, and this one is a very massive R&D project. So this is expected to come out by the next year.
Excellent. Great stuff. And launch worldwide? Where are you?
We are based in Mumbai at the moment.
Yeah.
So we will go take it one step at a time,
Yeah.
and that's why we're here. We are looking at fantastic partnership opportunities in the UK and Europe. So perhaps India and UK both.
And then we'll expand from there.
Go there, accelerate it.
World domination.
Yes, so we are Israeli-based company, and we design and manufacture unmanned helicopter.
Okay.
And this is a bit unique here because helicopters are not that easy to find.
No.
And I think the reason is because it's difficult to make. So we do that and everything regarding the helicopter in-house with our own engineers, from the mechanical design, electronical design, command and control, autopilot, even the ground control software.
Fantastic.
Everything by our own engineers. And we do that and the aim for tactical helicopters.
Right. Okay.
Up to 50 kilogram.
Yep.
We aim for 2 to 3 personnel.
Yep.
Because we wanted to keep minimum logistics and maximum capabilities, right?
Okay.
So that's
So
how
who are you
we plan it.
appealing? Who is this?
So, of
this
course,
designed at?
The helicopter is a platform,
Yes.
and it can take basically everything that you want it to do
Okay.
with the helicopter capabilities.
Yeah.
But Of course, the obvious missions will be maritime terrain and
Yes.
and terrains that are difficult to take off and land.
Yeah. So
without a
payloads,
vertical
dropping.
everything.
Yeah.
Take the capabilities of an helicopter, which is vertical takeoff and landing,
Yes.
very stable, can hover, and also the ability to fly very high altitude, long endurance, high speed, reach to a, for example, search and rescue mission when you can be a first responder,
Yeah.
because the helicopter flies in 55 knots and can reach very, very fast to the area of interest, and can be a first responder for that as well.
Fantastic. And so is it being used out in the wild, as it were, at the moment? Is anybody?
Of course it is,
Yes,
but
yes.
I cannot really.
No, that's
uh,
fine. And is it sort of government, military?
Yeah.
that
Governmental uses, military, homeland security, even commercial, but
Okay.
yeah.
Excellent. I understand you can't disclose who,
Yeah.
but it's good to know that it's out there.
It is.
and
It is
being
out
used.
there. We have a few products. One that is petrol based. One is, or three products that are all electric.
Uh-huh.
And the latest release here, the hybrid version, which
Yes.
allows you to continue running on electric motor,
Wow.
but providing the electricity from a generator that works on fuel.
Wow. Okay.
That gives you the capabilities and the reliability of an electric engine
Uh-huh.
with the endurance and the efficiency of an petrol generator.
Very good.
Well, Zenith Drones are a US startup, started back in 2017. And so we spent a good few years in the R&D stage, and we're just coming to market now.
Fantastic.
So this is our tilt motor, multifunctional drone. So it's fully autonomous, layered carbon fiber, 8 motors, and we're getting a flight time of 45 minutes to an hour. It's battery powered, so we have a quick charging mechanism to charge it in 1 hour as well. So we look at it as a multi-tool. So we allow customers a high level of customization.
Yeah.
So they can add and remove different sensors, cameras, depending on what sector they're working in. So at the moment, we're launching it in the agricultural sector in Ireland. So we've different mechanisms, like we've a spraying mechanism, a seeding mechanism for reforestation.
Yeah.
And we're also looking at different life-saving devices that we can attach to it. Because the drone itself can lift 40 kgs.
Wow.
So it's a heavy lifting drone.
Yeah. It's a bit of a beast.
It is a bit of a beast, and it's fully autonomous as well. So in the agricultural sector, it takes the onus away from the farmer,
Absolutely.
controlling a drone. So basically, we can provide them with all the data to give them, highly productive yields and monitor the livestock as well. So it's an interesting time for us, really, just kind of hitting the market.
Definitely.
Finally.
So it's actually going to be out there in Ireland, or it's out there at the moment?
We're getting our first 2 drones in Ireland in 3 weeks.
Okay.
And we're in the final stage of getting our approval to fly by the Irish Aviation Authority.
Fabulous.
So that took a little bit longer because it was the first drone of this size and weight to get registered in Ireland. So but we're paving the way for other drone
Indeed
companies.
you are. Indeed you are. Excellent. Really good. And then hopefully expanding from there.
Yeah. So look, we've operations in we've manufactured in Dubai and Phoenix, and and an office in Berlin as well. So we're looking to kind of expand our operations in Europe first of all.
Fantastic.
And then we'll be moving to South America. We're talking to a number of large branches down there.
I bet. Obviously, with the size and expanse of
Exactly.
the country,
Yeah.
you can, using something like this for agriculture will be a massive benefit.
Exactly. That's why it's one of the key industries, I think, for this drone, and especially the size of it. Like, we can really add value. So from the farmer identifying the land he wants to sow the crops in first by which land is drained the best, so what's the best area to sow the crops, and then when he sows the crops, we can monitor the growth, identify crop disease at an early stage, and then it can also go back and spot spray the individual pieces. So it's
analyze.
More. It's all to enable smart farming and precise farming.
That's it.
And it's a big area farming across the world.
Optimizes your crop reproduction.
Exactly.
And
I suppose that's only one of the kind of areas. Then you have the kind of civil defense, search and rescue.
Yeah.
There's such reliance on helicopters, and so many points of failure in a helicopter.
Yeah.
So if you're, deploying a drone, first response, get there, drop off a life-saving device, or actually just monitor the scene before they deploy a helicopter.
Yes.
And you can give a live stream, back to the headquarters via the SATCOM solution. So it's kind of like an eco-friendly solution to a lot of problems as well,
Just seen our first talk of the keynote theatre, and this was Mark Watson of NETS, and it was headlined as the roadmap to BVLOS in the UK.
Yeah.
Do you feel after watching that you know the roadmap to BVLOS in the UK?
Not really.
Okay. I mean, it is obviously a very complex subject. It is something that is it is complex, isn't it? Obviously, BVLOS, from the point of view that obviously when they talk about BVLOS, they're talking about the commercial side of things.
Yeah, because that's what it was basically.
Delivery drones, NHS, the post office, those type of projects that they're working on at the moment from a trial point of view, and trying to get those. He mentioned Altitude Angel and their new trial project, but it still feels like there was obviously excitement. There was a packed house that was standing remotely. All of the seats were taken in the theatre, and then there was a little crowd around it as well. I met a couple of people. Hi, if you saw me in the crowd there. So I think there was a lot of people waiting to hear this roadmap.
Yeah, the one thing that interested me really was he was on about temporary danger areas, and they want more of that than what there is at the minute. So I think you can have it for 90 minutes.
Yes.
But they want to know, they want to try and extend it or make it shorter?
That's it. And obviously part of the problem there is that you have the issue that with temporary danger areas, you have temporary restrictions on the rest of the users in that area, which I'm not a massive fan of, I have to say. I understand them from the point of view of trials and that type of thing, but we need to find a beyond visual line of sight system that works for everybody and that's fair, not necessarily fair for everybody, because we're unlocking a commercial
the same
sense.
opportunity.
Yeah. I mean, I certainly don't get the feeling we're ever going to see beyond visual line of sight for lower end commercial operators or, the hobby on a wider case. I think it's going to be a lot longer than that, isn't it? Certainly they're even talking about 5 years as far as BVLOS being a really settled thing.
Yeah, because he was chatting about one of the stands here is to do with Italy, and they've already got something like that in place. But he said they can't sit here until at least after 2025.
No, exactly. And there are BVLOS missions happening, there are trials happening, etc. But yeah, as you say, Mark Watson from NATS himself saying that they don't see it really until at least 2025, which I suppose isn't too long, but it'll be interesting to see how the revision to the open category that the CAA is talking about, it'll be interesting to see how that impacts things like BVLOS and how BVLOS impacts that, because it's obviously, if you look around this show, this is a trade show, this isn't a consumer show, but it's very much focused on BVLOS and large drones flying for miles and miles and doing specific jobs, isn't it? It's not. There seems to be a very big industry bubbling, waiting for that BVLOS to happen.
You seen how crowded that was.
Yeah, exactly. There are a lot of people there. Yeah. I'm not sure they got to hear what they wanted to hear. What a lot of people thought they were going to hear.
No, they definitely didn't.
Yeah, I don't think there was the secret sauce, as it were.
No,
but
it was too many ifs and buts.
So that was our thoughts on Mark Watson's keynote address from NATS, which was excellent. We really, it was enjoyable, and people did get a lot of information from it.
It was excellent,
but perhaps just not the magic bullet we were all hoping.
Yes, we are flying out about, mostly on the military side of things. But 2 months ago, we went to market in the civilian part of it, because we created a fixed-wing drone below 4 kilos, including payload, that can fly for 3.5 hours.
Wow, that's impressive.
Exactly, and that's what every drone operator says. It's like, wow.
That is impressive.
Yeah, because it's 2 hours more than any other else in this class. So we're pretty excited.
And so who are you aiming this at from a market perspective? Who are you?
Mapping, surveying, counting sheep.
Bit of agricultural.
but my dream is you can also use it in Africa for the poachers, to find the poachers.
Fantastic.
So that's
really good. You need the time, don't you? Out there, with the expansive terrain they've got to cover. It needs to be able to have good flight time.
Yes,
So
we're not a service provider. We produce the actual
no,
drones.
indeed, you do it all, and you do it all in house.
Yeah,
It's all
in Denmark.
fabulous. And
Danish design, Danish quality.
just what you need.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
so people can then they can bespoke and add sort of cameras or whatever else, surveillance equipment.
Yes,
to
exactly.
it.
We are pretty agnostic into whatever hardware you put into it. So any camera, literally.
Any camera. And it's mostly surveillance rather than payload or anything like that.
Yeah,
So it's
the payloads.
surveillance.
Yeah, the thermal cameras.
Yeah.
Here we are towards the end of the first day of DroneX. I think it's been a really interesting show so far, hasn't it?
It's been fantastic. I've never seen so many friendly people, and all the stuff that's here. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, there's been a real buzz about the show this year. There's a lot of going on. We're hearing deals happening, etc. That type of thing. So this isn't just a static show of, hey, here's our products and services, etc. You know, there's actually business being done under the roof this year, which is so great to hear. And I have to say, we've been so busy. I haven't even had time to go across to Helitech yet. Have you?
I did.
Did you when you went for your little wander?
When I went for my wander.
What's over there?
Everything.
Just like the air change when you walk over to the manned aviation side, is it clearer air or is there security trying to stop the drone people going over? Or it's a really fantastic show this year. There's been some amazing people. I want to give a very big shout out to Adnan, Chloe, and all of the DroneX team for making this possible, frankly, and allowing us to come along and providing us a booth, etc., so that we can bring you guys, our audience, this amazing content. They've been hugely supportive, haven't they? Always checking if we need anything, etc. And they're about to buy us a free drink as well, which
Yeah,
that could get messy.
That'll be a Coke or a Lucozade for me.
Okay, that could get messy. We'll have to wait and see. But yes, it's awesome, and also a big shout out to all of the viewers that have come and found us. Really appreciate it. I took my first selfies with viewers today, which was a milestone for me. I'm very excited about that.
They
Wouldn't you
didn't
be?
ask me.
Well, you weren't here when they asked for the selfie. Maybe if you were here,
No,
maybe they really wanted Tony, but they only
I was
got me.
doing really important things.
You were. You were
I
off
was
being a
getting those
cameraman,
interviews.
getting
Yeah, it was
interviews
brilliant.
with Joe, and hopefully you've enjoyed seeing those interviews in this the first show from day one, and we'll be bringing you some more of those tomorrow. We've got some very exciting people. There's also a lot of the talks happening tomorrow, which seem very interesting, including Mark Worry, UK RPAS CAA head, and it's going to be very interesting to hear what he says and I'm looking to really find the tone of that talk and to see what kind of information he's seeing as important to really get out to us as well, frankly. So as a community, as a wider drone community. So it's a shout out to everybody that we've met today, and we're really looking forward to day two and seeing some more of the products and services that are out there. Let us know in the comments what you think of today.